Hey folks, Richard here again. Just a quick push for my blog, Facts for Working People. URL is weknowwhatsup.blogspot.com. I want to make a few points about some of the stuff going on today, and I know everybody feels as anxious as I do, and in some ways as helpless as I do, because there's not much and we can do, and not much of nowhere really that we can turn to. But I wanted to point out a couple of things that people sort of know, I think, in many ways. But the 11.3, according to the Detroit Free Press, in the first days of the Iran war, an unprovoked war against an enemy and against the peoples that have not threatened us in any way, just like Vietnam, they never threatened the United States in any way. And an unprovoked war, in the first few days, they spent $11.3 billion. And this $11.3 is more than the Congress's annual allocation for the National Cancer Institute, which is $7.4 billion, and almost equal to the $12.4 billion for Head Start. That's what they spent in the first few days. And that was from the Detroit Free Press, according to a friend. And I was reading as well as just a little while ago, Israel is threatening to, the way they put it, a Gaza-style devastation in Lebanon. Now, why can the Israelis, this vicious Nazi regime, how can they say that with confidence? They can say it with confidence because the United States backs them. Not only that, it arms them. They can say they can raise Lebanon because the US will give them the weapons to do it and protect them to do it. And they've been able to get away with this. They're totally unaccountable. The US and the Israel in the world today are seen for what they are, the most brutal, terroristic forces on earth. There's no doubt about it. I mean, you've only got to look how the US government treats its own people. Many people abroad. I often talk to friends from Europe or the UK when they're watching a regular Hollywood film or something, and I tell them that house there is $4 or $5 million. People don't live in those houses, you know. I mean, houses are expensive. Mine went to $1 million here a while ago, but we never paid anywhere near that for it. But I couldn't have done that. We're sort of protected. Two big oceans. Outside of 9/11, Pearl Harbor was the only major assault on our territory, major assault by a foreign power. And after 9/11, the US went out and killed 2 or 3 million people and so forth. So that's why the Israelis can do this. And the other thing I wanted to point out, so I hope to keep this short, the guy that got killed in Detroit and that drove the car at the synagogue. Now they're going to push that as here's anti-Semitism. The right-wing Jewish and Zionist press and everything else is going to come out and, well, that's anti-Semitism. Well, it's not anti-Semitism, because anti-Semitism is what anti-Semitism is. Traditionally, is a hatred of Jews as Jews and an attempt, at some point in time, as the Nazis did, to destroy them as a people. And the home of anti-Semitism of that nature is Europe. It's Christian Europe that tried to eradicate the Jews. It's Christian Europe that for centuries persecuted the Jews. That's who that is. Now, it's also Christian Europe, and I'm not blaming Christians, but the ruling class in Europe. It's Europeans who pushed for the state of Israel to be where it is because it covered two bases. It dumped its Jewish problem there. After they'd killed 6 million of them, it got rid of that Jewish problem, go over here. And they used them, much as they do the Protestants in Northern Ireland, as they did, as a buffer zone for that foot that they had. They gained now in the Middle East after the collapse of the Ottoman Empire. And as someone once phrased it, a little Jewish Ulster amid a sea of Arabism. So that's what a settler state is. And they can do that because the US now, more than anything, supports them. And the guy that killed, drove at the synagogue, it's not anti-Semitism. It's his brothers, 2 brothers were killed in Lebanon. The 2 nieces were killed in Lebanon, and we're going to see more of it because there is real anti-Semitism, and they will use the Israel as a excuse. The real genuine anti-Semitism will. They'll use Israel, and I can see it creeping in, even online about how many Jewish billionaires there were. I saw a list about that. I want to see the Christian ones if you're going to do that. Let's see, and it'll be far outnumber them, I bet you, globally. But the point is that was not anti-Semitism, and it's wrong to do that. But we got to look at what's going on. You've got to look at what's going on. And as I say, look at what the US did when we lost 3,000 people or more in actually were the center of world capitalism. The Twin Towers wiped out 2 floors of moneylenders and stuff, as well as innocent people. Look what the US did, went out and wiped out a couple of million and destroyed a nation. So that's important for us to not allow them to portray this as increasing anti-Semitism. There will be more attacks, desperate revenge attacks. But if you're going to defend Israel, like a guy I spoke to recently, a Jewish guy, holy guy, he prays. He's not super holy, but he basically supports it. I'm calling him a Holocaust deniers. They're Holocaust deniers because Gaza is a Holocaust and what Israel is doing is a Holocaust. And if you support that, then you're going to expect to be attacked. Your old anti-Semitism trick doesn't work anymore. This last few years have shut that door. So the big thing is where do we turn? And the last thing, I was going to be short, but it isn't, is the trade union. Some trade unions now are saying they support May Day, a May Day stoppage. Big deal. Of course, you can't oppose it. It's no problem. How much they'll support it is a different matter. They're terrified of any mobilization because their own jobs will be on the line. And also the Democratic Party's new kings, they want a pathetic title. It's harmless. Don't raise any expectations. Not a national healthcare day, not a universal healthcare day, not housing, not some demands that might spur people. A harmless No King's Day. There'll be a lot of people going that aren't there for that reason, so I'll be doing that. But the thing is that Democratic Party is pathetic. Let's wait till September or November, they can get in, and meanwhile they'll kill a few million. And let's quote here what Professor Mersheimer said, and I have some respect for Mersheimer. I think it was from the Lancet, that the US between 1971 and 2021 has killed 38 million people through direct war, sanctions, and its economic power. And that's the reality. And what we do as American workers, that's not us. We defend our class, American working class. I defend the American working class with all our weaknesses. It's the American ruling class, it's capitalism, and that's the way we have to phrase it. There's no need to be ashamed to be an American working class unless you're supporting this crap. Okay, and that's false consciousness. Anyway, couldn't keep it short. Richard, take care.